Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm so glad you can be here for our wonderful presentation today of the Technology Committee. I'll let those members introduce themselves. As you notice, we have our projector today because we will be showcasing this wonderful new update to our Life Together, i.e. our new website. And so we want to thank Rachel for her wonderful work in all of this.
Thank you. Thank you.
And she'll be guiding us through that beginning part, and then after a point, Rachel has to go, and the Technology Committee will then continue on with their presentation for you all. So without further ado, I'm gonna pass it on to Rachel and the Technology Committee.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. I just wanted to start off by first saying that introducing new technology into any kind of a community can, bring up all kinds of challenges, frustrations, over having to learn new systems, just getting used to something new. So I just want everyone to feel like you're welcome to ask questions here. The Technology Committee has formed as a new part of our life together to hopefully help provide answers to any kind of tech questions going forward, so you can learn about who's in the Technology Committee, and feel free to reach out to them, one of us, or attend our meetings sometimes if you have any questions. But I would just like to start off with a little prayer as we consider our new technology space and our discussions about how we are going to use technology moving forward together. So we could just all pray. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us together today, digitally and in person. We are very grateful for advancements in technology that allow us to disperse the gospel and to come together in different ways. We pray for those who cannot be with us in person due to illness or distance. And we pray for those who are here in person that struggle to understand how to deal with new technology. And we hope that we open minds and hearts to embrace new ways of building bridges. Amen. Amen. So first of all, I think the best thing to do would be to go around and introduce the members of the Technology Committee that are here today. My name is Rachel McWhorter. I am on the staff here at Christ the King. I'm Director of Digital Ministry, and I help build the website through the use of the Tidely platform. I have a background, from the Savannah College of Art and Design. I have a bachelor's of art in digital media. So my degree covered all kinds of things, everything from animation and graphic design work, through coding, through user design and interface. So I have a little bit of a hand in all kinds of interactive design type elements of that. My background comes from that. So I'd like to throw it over to Andy to introduce himself.
So I'm Andy Weinset. I'm the chair of the Technology Committee, and the reason I'm the chair is probably the least qualified on the committee, as you'll find out. I really, it's something I've been interested in for a long time since back on council, to have something like this sort of sounding board, a support organization for people like Rachel, all the office staff, all the ministry staff, bounce questions off, really long-term strategy sorts of things for IT. My background's in physics. I got a PhD in physics, which really doesn't qualify me at all for anything IT related. I like to tinker a lot, so I like to out tinker with these sorts of things. That's really my qualifications. Anyway,
Andy has been essential. He's really undercutting his abilities here. When we were getting all of the cameras installed in the nave, his dedication to tinkering saved us so many times when we were in pickles or we couldn't figure something out. And I really appreciate his stick-to-itiveness to not back down from a problem, because I feel like every time we get together with tech involved, something happens. And it's nice to have multiple people on hand who can think through different solutions or try different things. So I really appreciate having Andy. But let's continue going around the room and introducing everyone else in the Technology Committee. You want to go ahead?
Okay, I'm Mary Ann Becerra, and I'm a retired technology director. And under my degree, I have a degree in economics, and I have an MBA, and I wrote my thesis on people's attitudes toward information. And that was in 1978. So I was ahead of my time. But I love seeing that interface, and I'm really excited about the new webpage. and its ability to help us connect people, because that's what technology is supposed to do. Instead of divide us, it should connect us.
I'm Richard Scott. I've been in data processing since the days we used the thumb and the finger and make punch cards. IBM 360. Mostly environmental data processing. I'm primarily a climatologist in applications. So anyhow, back in those days, I was the technology committee, and it's such a nice change to see what we have now, and I would predict, these climatologists make predictions, we're gonna need a lot more of this, maybe a monthly meeting of this technology discussions, because the changes are coming fast and furious. So I'm just trying to stay up to date and be aware of what's happening, whatever I can contribute to the group.
I'm Ron Singers. I'm retired after about a 35-year career in information technology, working with a broad range of different companies here in Houston. Like Richard, my experience dates back to days of paper tapes, punched cards, et cetera, et cetera. I've got a degree in math from Rice. What else can I say? I guess I've been in various levels of management technology throughout that career.
I'm Bert Hungerford. If you ever need to have an old IBM board wired. I think one of the first classes that I took in college was learning how to wire a sorter, sort the thing for the cards. But I've been involved in technology, at least when I was in my career, because I was a chief financial officer in companies, but I always ended up in a company that had nothing when I started there. So, and I was also involved in, when I was in public accounting, that I was on the consulting side. So yeah, I programmed and stuff. And once again, my technology is many decades behind. Still.
I'm David Carroll. I am an interested amateur. I am not a professional, and you'll mention Henry.
Of course.
But strangely enough, I did actually take a Fortran class in college with punch cards. That dates me. And when I was a senior in college, my fraternity bought the first IBM PC for $2,000. And I wrote my senior thesis on that PC. And I used VisiCalc when VisiCalc happened. So I've been kind of living the PC, interested, but I'm certainly not a programmer or a hardware person. But I do believe that, as Rachel said, technology, and I define technology very broadly. There's IT, there's other technology. There's better cars, better not just computers and communications. There's more to it, but that's a lot of it. And there are problems with it, and so we want to do things the right way. But there are huge advantages, and there's lots of opportunities. And this is, we've already had great steps forward. I mean, I remember when we didn't have a website. You don't remember that, but many of us do, and it's so much better now. And now this real step change, and this is the first of a number of step changes, I think, that are coming. And we're here to help. And so if you have questions or comments, again, not being the Mary Ann, or I maybe can't answer them, but I can find the right person to answer them. So please, if you see me and something pops into mind, speak up, because I'd rather we hear about it and don't say something. Yes. Anyway, that's my whole background.
Also, Henry Goodrow is not here today, but I wanted to very much say thank you to him. Not only did he help me on the back end when I was building the website, he helped me keep every step that needed to be done. He built a board with little cards on it, a digital board with cards. And so I could slide them over into different categories when I had completed something, and he would help remind me of things that needed to get completed. And he kept me on accountable for things. He also helped me pull in some old data from the old website initially when I was getting everything structured, but pulling big info dumps over. He helped with that. He donated, this is the first time we're using it, the perch for our owl. He donated that for us, so I'm really, really grateful for Henry's enthusiasm for the technology committee and his big ideas, because he's got a lot of ideas, and I wish he was here today to share his enthusiasm with y'all, but I know you'll definitely hear it from him in the future.
He's a real tech guru.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
actually happy he's not. Going to his daughter's college.
Yes, I was gonna say it's a big weekend for his family. His daughter Haley is graduating, and so we're thinking of you, Henry, if you're checking this out later online. And thank you again so much for donating the owl perch to us. And then I'm pretty sure, I think. Tom Frank is also not here today. He has been keeping all of our minutes for us, and I'm really appreciative of him too, because he's very detail oriented when it comes to keeping all the notes, and we throw around lots of ideas, and he's been very helpful keeping everything in track. I think we kind of just pushed secretary onto him because he just naturally took over that so well. And I think, Andy, did you say you brought some copies of the?
Oh, I did, yeah, there's a charter. that we
There's the
put together.
technology
It's pretty
committee charter here, if y'all would like to look that over. It's just a little charter we put together, kind of talking about the structure of the group and kind of the direction we want to see things going forward. So if anyone has questions on the charter, we'd love to talk
Things to add to it.
about it or anything to add. Also, there's one thing, I'm just gonna put this out there. I would love a youth to be on the technology committee at some point. I'm not pointing any fingers at anyone in the room
Aren't they
here.
using-
But I'm glad we have. But
I bring that application.
But besides putting Peter on the spotlight here, if anyone knows of a youth in the congregation that would be interested in helping out in the technology committee, I would love to have a youth voice join us for meetings occasionally, even if they can't come to all of them. So if anyone knows of a youth that would be interested in putting their ideas forward for technology for the church going forward, I would love to welcome them on
Yes,
board,
they're-
send them our way.
They're the ones known as digital natives.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so. So anyone younger than me, I would love to invite them to come and join us too. So I think now we can go ahead and move to actually looking at the website. And when I go through the different sections, we can just kind of answer questions as we go, because I just want to make this involved for everyone. A lot of the website is cleaned up and pretty straightforward now, but I just want anyone to bring forth any questions they have. And when we go through the different areas, just, share your thoughts, and I'm always open to building on and adding and. Oh yeah, we'll turn the lights down. See you then.
Oh, that's really dark.
Yeah, that's fine.
Al can still see.
Maybe opening a door would put it.
Yeah, we could open one of the doors for a little sideline.
I knew there was a reason why to step in.
Okay, and I hope all of our friends on Zoom can see us okay now, because I am now projecting onto the wall here. So this is our homepage of our new website. One of the things I really like, first thing is we can see our live stream countdown here right at the top. That lets us know when we are going live. So when people are visiting us, they can be aware that we have worship or an event coming up. Also that we can mark certain news articles and events as an alert, and that will make the article stick to the top of the web page for however long we want it to. I can manually go in and turn that off. And then when you click on this, it will immediately take you to the article or event that it's referring to. So then it will alert you to that, and then you can choose to turn the banner on or off yourself. So after you've received an alert, you can remove that yourself. And then it will take you to the alert. And the nice thing about that is it can help for people who are here for the first time. This is like the front door, so they can know what's most important right up front. And speaking of what's most important, besides the little slideshow of kind of recent imagery of things going on at the church here, the most important thing we have on the first page is our worship schedule in a format that's really easy to read. And in the worship schedule, it has our basic information, but up at the top too, you can go further into our Life Together and find out more detail about the worship schedule. But on the front page, this is just basic information that if you're coming and you're glancing and you're just wanting to see what this church is about, everything is right here, right front and center. The following section is one that I've been playing with for alerts that are, for when the website first launched, we had the t-shirt orders, and actually Ben said that was really helpful because a lot of shirt orders had come in through people interacting through the website there. And more so, I think, than what was going through the MailChimps and things coming out. So this section can be updated for something that's coming soon or that's important for registering or signing up for. And then this whole section can be removed altogether if we just want to focus on worship schedule and regular events going on. So this is more like a section that can come and go if we're trying to promote something in particular.
May I make a comment?
Absolutely.
As long as we're on this page, white print on top of yellow is difficult to read.
Gotcha. Yeah. I completely understand seeing that, especially projected here now.
It's hard to read on a phone also. Not a good practice.
Okay, definitely we'll take that into consideration too. Trying to just go with the colors of the brightness from all the Luther Hill advertising they had sent to us to use.
I like the color, it's just that you can't read it.
Yeah, gotcha. I can adjust that today, so check it out later. I will update it. There won't be white text on there anymore later on after this. So then we go to the section of upcoming events. What I really like about this is the way that it's programmed in the website is as each day moves forward, it automatically shifts to show upcoming events. So once an event passes, it doesn't just stick on the web page here. So if you come tomorrow, everything will shift again and move to next events coming through. So even if I'm not here to manually do that, it already does it on its own based on scheduling. So that saves time too, makes things less confusing. So when things are passed, they are passed and people aren't going to keep running into it and getting confused that it will.
And it avoids the problem that I'm sure we've all seen where you go to a website and the news is something that happened 2 weeks ago.
Right.
You know, that's just.
Yeah. And here we have a lot of repeating events such as music rehearsals, classes and things like that. And so even though they're on a rotating schedule, it still brings them up and then it pushes them on, so I really appreciate that about this section. And then you can still go to the view all of the upcoming events, and then you can go further than the ones that are just displayed there, and you can go way further into the future. We've got things going into June, July, further out than that, so you can go through all these different news pages and then keep going and find out more info. When you want to learn about a particular event and you click on it, we have it here to where you can save it to your Google calendars now. So you can also sign up for different events that you want to keep on your calendars. We did not have that feature before. And so that's really nice to be able to pick and choose what you want to keep on your actual calendars. And
Can you change that to also be Outlook and Apple Calendar? So
Yeah.
you have an option.
I believe it does sync to Google Calendar, Apple Calendar. Yeah. And you can also change the view here. When you're looking at the events, you can either have it in a list format like this, or you can change it to a actual calendar format. And then you can see the breakdown of every day, what's going on every day. And then you can again click on the particular event and find out more information about it, where it's taking place, saving it to your calendar, etc. And so back at the homepage again, under our upcoming events section is a similar section, but this is our news section. So the way we had our website before, everything was just in one rolling column, and news and event, everything was kind of all mixed together. This keeps it where it's all together on the same screen, but everything's separated, so you know what you're looking at here. So news articles are more in depth than the events. The events are just like the basic details, but sometimes there is an article that ties into an event. Like for example, the food bank outing here. There's a little article that goes along with it, so it's a little more in depth and it has all the info. You can click on contacts and things like that. And so these are, it's more in depth, and they also, when we have our announcements and things like that, we've been including letters to the congregation in the news as well, and pinning those up there. So basically the same thing that goes out in the email can be found here. So you're not going to go through searching your email. You can go right to the website, find what you're looking for, and it'll be right up front.
Want to mention how many they sound right.
Yes, so we were shocked, and Henry had sent, we had set up Google Analytics from the first day that we had the website launched, and we were excited that the first 2 days after Easter, we had about 2,000 hits on the website. We were like very pleased with that. When we made the announcement about Pastor Hope Trangali coming, we had over 60,000 hits on our website. And I was shocked, and I think the whole ELCA got to take a look at our website, or at least a portion of it, and I was just blown away because I wasn't expecting some kind of traffic like that. But it was incredible. We shared it with the staff. Terry just Council President Terry responded just, wow. So it really made me glad that we had done the refresh on our website just in time for all of this, because if that many people are looking at our church, we want to see the front door of our digital space just as clean as the building is now on the outside. And I really think taking the time to invest in these kinds of changes can really help that appearance. So after we look at our news section, we have what's called the pastor's desk, or at least we're calling it that for now. That name might change, but these are the monthly letters that Mandy has been writing that go into the banner. Also, blogs from our other leadership. Sergio blogs about the Latin pastoral ministry that he's doing. Deacon Ben will be blogging about children's youth ministry. So these will be like leadership blogs that come out that can just give us a little more insight into what's going on with our leadership here, what projects they're involved in. And these won't always just be text-based. There will also be videos. There will be audio and different kinds of media. So I'm really excited to have a little more of this to where the digital space you can feel a little more connected to our pastoral leadership, to our deacons and our staff as well. So I'm kind of excited about this because we didn't really have a section like this before. It existed in the banner, but it wasn't as robust as it can be here in the digital space. And then below that, we have our newsletter, subscribe. We're eventually going to move over to a format that it will be tied into the back end of the website. Right now, we use a separate mail system called MailChimp, which is a different program. And in the future, it will be a lot easier because when I'm creating these events and articles, I can just click a button and it'll add it to our weekly newsletters that go out on Thursdays and Sundays, and it'll save a lot of time on the back end. So we can work on other projects instead of doing a lot of copy between systems. So that's another advancement that's going to be coming in the near future. And then down here in our footer, we have our new Reconciling in Christ logo, as well as our contact information and a footer toolbar that is our same navigation as at the top. So wherever you go, you can go ahead and start navigating from down here just as you would at the top. This statement here is a statement that the ELCA uses if you are using the Tidely platform and you're an ELCA church. The ELCA has created a footer that unites all of us together. And so it's kind of like holding hands with the other websites of the ELCA. So this is a similar footer that will match other congregations using the Tidely platform, which is partnered with the ELCA to build their websites. The cool thing about Tidely is it has a whole host of tools tied in, kind of like the Adobe Creative platform, where there's different apps within Tidely that allow you to do different things. There's even apps that help manage music, other church management stuff that we can get into later, but it has all kinds of tools that we can utilize in the future.
Property management.
That they actually are, because they're continuing to develop more and more, and it's for the life of the church. So as I definitely agree with you, and I think as soon as they come out with something like that, we will take advantage.
You mean resource management of like rooms and things like that? What are you talking about?
No.
Projects.
Improvement projects, which things.
Yeah, and when we talk about what Henry is, we need that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I've got, I have the software that Pastor Drew gave us, but I don't know how to. I can't use it the way it should be used.
We're hoping to facilitate, the technology committee in the future is hoping to facilitate more tech training to get people to understand how to use different programs and things like that, and to become more comfortable using different kinds of technology. So we're really hoping in the future we can have some hands-on, one-on-one classes and training available to everyone, because we know this is a whole new world for people, and technology is changing just as, even those of us who are in it, it's changing so quick, you have to constantly be learning new all the time. So we're right there with you, learning new as it's coming out. Yes,
Rachel, on the homepage, we're back at the top. right?
yes,
Now, on the homepage, are all three of these areas on the homepage?
yes,
So when you look at the whole homepage, you see everything from this
correct,
to
yes.
the.
Yes, all the way down. So our main page, this is like the most important things going on at the church, like the front door of the church.
Yes, okay, so when I look, I'll see that entire thing.
Scroll down.
Yes.
Scroll.
Yes,
You have to
You have to
scroll.
scroll down.
yes.
So question, how is there any difference in how this appears, let's say on a mobile device as opposed to like a computer or a laptop?
Yes, so our website is what is called mobile adaptive, which means that based on the device you're using, the website smartly changes its aspect ratio to fit your screen. So if you're viewing this on a phone, it will have a slightly different layout, but everything will still be in the same order, in the same location. Just visually, I can even show you how this works. So when you move the screen, it will automatically start changing the way things are. So let me do this part. So when I start making it smaller, as if we're moving to a smaller device, you will see how the menus will very shortly collapse here. So it went from the menu across to the 3-bar menu, the hamburger, correct? And so this is how it will appear more or less on the phone. And then when you keep going, it'll mobile adaptively continue to pull everything in more and more and more. And so when you're this far over, this is exactly what it looks like when you're on the phone. So it does clip some of the images, but all the images are still appropriately centered, and all the text is too. So when you're scrolling down the phone, there are certain differences, like here, the parallax goes away over the font, but the image of the font still is there. All of these things are here, but if you notice, the text is now below instead of to the side. Same with all the events, they appear like this in a list view instead of all of them being in a grouping. But this is just how it will appear on different devices. But like I said, everything still remains in the same order. So all the sections are still there in the exact same order as we scroll down.
2 questions. And I'm sorry, maybe the question's been asked, but I didn't bring my hearing aids. I would have missed it. Is there a means presently on there to look at our giving?
Yes.
Because I couldn't find it.
So yes, I will go through the top bar menu, and then since you asked about giving, let's look at giving first. So
Okay,
giving
let
is,
me ask one thing before we go on. It's about appearance. Since we're now an RIC congregation, I'm thinking back to the woman who was here a couple of weeks ago and said, when they come to town, she scrolls through the churches to find an IRC church.
yes,
And did you discuss just putting the symbol up on that bar
yes, we didn't.
so they could see it immediately?
I think that the important thing there would be make sure that that's in our search criteria. Because if they're coming to town, they would do probably a Google search on RIC of Houston. And, you know, I don't know if we're using that as
Yes, go ahead, yes.
a keyword.
Yeah, can I,
Well, you can do that.
I'll add by saying that
Thanks a lot.
most, if not all RIC congregations have this layout. where the RIC logo is at the very bottom. There is, on the RIC website, there is an actual map that details, it's kind of like a Google map that details where the congregations are. So if they're looking for RIC, all they have to do is go to that map and they'll find us automatically there and they'll link to this website.
And you're assuming that everybody's gonna do that.
Well, and that's the
I'm
thing
just
is,
wondering,
if you're
did
thinking
you
about
ever-
Lutheran, if other Lutherans that come into town that know what the RIC program is, they'll be able to see that. And then other people, they'll find us on the list of LGBTQIA affirming ministries because it's all compiled together. Yeah,
Also,
Are you telling me then there's no place for it on this bar up here? I'm
There's
just
no
asking
need.
about the symbol.
so there wouldn't be a need for the bottom. Yeah,
so the top bar is for navigation, and since it wouldn't go anywhere, so, but I can show you what I did do. So, to add this to the webpage, I manually went in and added it to every page individually because I wanted to code it to where when you came to it, you can click on it and it will take you to the RIC and you can learn what that means. So people who don't know what RIC is, when they click on that image anywhere on our website, and it's on every single webpage, it will automatically open reconciling works and then they can learn all about it. So we don't necessarily need to host that information on our website. We make it clear that we are a CTK as a reconciling in Christ community, and then people can learn more about it when they click on that. And not even other churches necessarily do that. I went in and did it manually because I thought it was important to educate. And so even though it's not at the very, very top, people will know where to look for this. And I actually made it a little larger than a lot of churches have it on their footers. So I made it to where it will stand out when people see.
And I'm looking on my phone, it is, if just scrolling through that front page like I'm thinking a normal person does, it is really. Yes. And it's right there, if you wanted to know where we are, that's where you're gonna scroll down, because that's where the address is, that's where all the subscribing
Yeah.
is and all that.
Is there a USDA logo?
Oh, yeah, yes, right down here, we've got and they set this up themselves, so they wanted their logo to be this size down here, looking like that. And,
Well, just, I mean, we're more than RIC, so I'm just
Yeah.
thinking size wise, it looks.
I know it's on.
yeah, that's just how we do it.
yeah, that's how they wanted theirs to be, but also, I did dedicate, under the about section, we have a whole section about the ELCA. So it opens up to the ELCA's website here. And then also under the I'm new section, I have our own bit of info about the ELCA here, and then they can again go to the ELCA website. So. Okay, so back on the homepage, we're gonna go back to giving because everybody was wondering where the giving was. So giving is right here at the top. Right here, you can give online. So when you click the give online button, it'll automatically open up Tithely here, and you can log in to your Tithely account. Usually once you've already logged in, it'll automatically remember you, and so it'll pop up again. If you are you don't have a giving account, it will explain on the website right here how to set it up, how to get started as a donor, and then the giving fact, and it explains how to hook up your bank account, how to hook up your credit cards, if you want to cover fees or not, all of that is explained. And then also links to download the Tithely app to your own phone, and through the app, it's the same as this giving platform here, but it's in a mobile setup. And through that, you can also give to our synod, give to fellow churches that are use their giving through Tithely. And it's really nice and convenient to have it on your phone. If you don't like going through the website, if you'd rather just have it pretty much one click and done, the mobile app is the way to go. And you can, like I said, download it from Google Play or the App Store right here from our website.
Can you designate a memorial gift on that as well?
Yes, you can. Just like our giving that we had previously, there will be a drop-down menu. You can select what programs you're giving to. There's also a memo line in the Tithely giving. I'll show you right here on the. So your note and memo is right here. So it's all in one spot. So you can select, what you want it to go to. let's just say we're giving to free wills, so you'd select free wills. And then, you know, you can put a note or memo.
So Easter lilies.
Yeah, exactly. And when there are things like Easter lilies, they will be added to the drop down menu. So, you know, when it's poinsettias at Christmas, it'll be there. When there's a special event going on or something like that, it'll appear up there for tickets or certain things. So we will, you know, be updating yeah, there's also a memorial gift here. You can select that, and then in the note and memo line, you can type in what you need to. Same for things like, for example, the t-shirts. You would have just selected other, and then in the memo line, you would put t-shirt, what size, and then Deacon where that was for the t-shirts.
How much time do you have?
I've still got about.
I want you to cover everything.
Yeah.
you can. It's easy to get into lots of detail. This is just
Yeah,
a
definitely.
overview, but let's make sure we hit the high points.
Yeah.
We have to go.
So under our about section, you're going to find a lot of the most important things about our church, our vision and mission statement, our staff and council profiles, info about the call committee, which is really great. The history of our church, which is really beautifully set up. I think it's illustrated in a nice way. The page for Bach Society Houston, more info about the ELCA and our synod. We link directly to our synod's website as well. And people can learn more about our synod, events going on in our synod. One of my favorite things about the website is the I'm New section. So we're gonna go look at that really quick because the website is really set up for hopefully bringing new people to our doors. So what I'm hoping is by having the I'm New right up here at the top, people will see it and then they will get the most important things they need to get to us. So this gives a little fact section about what worship's like. Do you have to be Lutheran? What about kids? And parking, which is really important. And we have a big detailed information about parking on here too, so people don't get confused. And then we have a mini menu down here, and this brings new people to the most important stuff. So our vision and mission statement, we bring that up here, and it's all laid out right here. And then they still have the mini menu up here. They can go to the staff page, see all the staff, send emails, click on our staff, learn about them, read their bios. Then we can keep going through, learn about the ELCA, learn more about the ELCA. Then they can get to the contact page. And then this is great because it has our maps here, our addresses. When you're scrolling down the contact page further, you get right back to staff or council, which you can contact those folks. That's also great for our members because it's easy. Oh, I need to, send Terry an email. Oh, I can't remember. Right here on the website, go to contact council, Terry, right there. Get in touch, email directly to the CTK email. So that'll be like our general email. And then you can also email me directly. And there's a website feedback form. So if you come across a glitch, think of an idea, hate the white text on the yellow, please shout at me through the form and I will make changes for y'all.
And that's very important. So
Yes.
Please
Give us feedback. Yeah.
if it gets put there, then we won't miss it.
Yeah.
Right, and Henry helps manage all that. And
Yeah.
So it's really important, we need the checklist of to-do items, things to look at, and.
We go
if
over-
I don't write something down, it's gone, so. I'm the kind of person where I need to make sure when I have an idea or a concept, I need to go there and get it in, then it's in the system. And we'll look at it.
Right.
Where you'll be communicated and can look into, so please, please. Click around on this on your phones and on your laptop and on your desktop and feedback those suggestions so that we can look into it. Because, when you're 5 people when you're one person, Rachel working on it, you're 5 people, but now we have hundreds of members of the congregation that could
Put their eyes on it.
input into this, so we just make it better. If something's missing, we can put it there. But that's the way to make sure it gets addressed and submit a contact thing, right? A suggestion.
The new people can also go through the plan your visit feature, which takes them through steps that also alerts us to if they're visiting. So what this will do is it goes through, they are allowed to select how many people are visiting, which campus, what day, what time of worship service, and it gives us all that info, and it sends them an email as well, reminding them, giving them the map and the directions. And it alerts us on staff, so we can be on the lookout for them, alert our ushers, hey, we have a new phone. Maybe we want to give them some an information kit, maybe we want to give them a t-shirt, maybe we just want to make them feel extra welcome.
That's super.
Yeah, and it works for both of our campuses as well. So it alerts us if they're wanting to come to our Rice Village campus or if they're wanting to attend at the West campus. And it breaks down all the worship services so they can select what they want. So plan your visit is really neat. And I haven't seen many other churches have something like that. So I really hope that will help us facilitate new faces around here. Under our Life Together, I encourage you to really check out the church calendar. It really gives you an idea of what's going on every day here, all of our events, all of our worship scheduling too is all included on the calendar. Again, you can find our different ministry partners are all listed here on this one wonderful page. And each one of them, if you click on it, they have their own individual page that gives a little more info. Our contact person on there. If they have an outgoing website, you can go to the outgoing website and learn more about each of our ministry partners, and they're each one of them is set up that way. So it doesn't matter which one you go to, you'll get their own little profile and information about how we at CTK work with them. And also if they are a particular ministry partner that has an event coming up, for example, Houston Food Bank should have one here. It will alert us on the events thing and it'll tie into that ministry partner and link you back here so you can find out some more info about that ministry partner on the day that we're volunteering and things like that. You can also find all of our creation care is right here. The creation care events calendar is so massive, we cannot fit it on our regular church calendar, but it's right here on the creation care page, and everything in the greater Houston area is also listed here. So you can make your plans to show up for any of our creation care events. We also have a similar care calendar for when we're doing justice and advocacy events. Back to our homepage. Our online section, and I'll have to leave soon, unfortunately, but we have worship starting in 35 minutes. So on our live stream page here, we can now live stream right here through CTK. I will just for a brief second click on one just so you can see kind of what worship looks like on the screen here whenever we are live streaming. So as you can see, this is what it looks like in worship when you're live on our website now. There's a chat over here where people can talk. Our bulletins and notes are right here, so you can open up your bulletin, another screen, follow right along with everything, just like with us live here in person. Our Taking Faith Home is also available every week, so you're getting that. This is also all connected in our emails that go out on Sunday, but it's right here just so people don't have to keep going back and forth and opening different things. It also lets us know what our mission offering is for and where you can go donate, and you can click right there, find out about all the mission offering going on, and everything's just all in one place. So if people are just discovering us, they don't have to get the email. Everything's right here included every week. You can also go to a playlist and watch all of our past worship services or anything else that we've live streamed. And this is also echoing what our playlist on our YouTube channel, but this is mostly for worship here. We host like Sunday Forum and things on our YouTube channel, but all of worship will always be able to be found here on the website now. So you can also give right here, the big yellow button, while you're in online worship, which is something we didn't have available before. So we like to encourage our online viewers to give when it's time to give. We like to get in the chat and make reminders that you can give online and before we pass the piece. And it's wonderful to be able to do that together. So you can, when you close out a live streaming, we also have a really cool sermon podcast now. So every week you can go listen to the sermon podcast, and you can download the sermon notes, you can download the text, and you can listen to it here, which is really great for people on the go or who just want to catch the sermon. I don't just put the sermon, I include the gospel. A lot of other churches just post sermons. I think it's important to include the gospel reading, so we know what the sermon's referring to, and we need to be spreading the gospel as much as possible. So our sermon will always include the gospel. Sometimes we have, the choir even doing a little intro in there sometimes, which is nice, and, our cantor bin in the future would like to work on more music, podcasts and things going forward. Again, under education, you can find all of our faith formation classes, Sunday forum, music, basically anything educational. We will host all of our Sunday forums, will be available on the Sunday Forum Hub. You can go watch all the old ones. You can get to Sunday Forum right here through the Zoom link. And all of our upcoming events that have to do with Sunday forums are going to be right here in the Sunday Forum Hub as well. As you can look at our lineup, and if there's handouts, they will also be available. And our member section is really important. This has all of our, we can do prayer requests, Sunday snack and flour donation signups. You can sign up right from this section of the website. We also have our stewardship information, all of our info on our strategic plan with every document. And especially one of my favorite areas is how to become a member of Christ the King, where we also feature our new members and how to set up to come and visit with us and to become a member here. And that is also available in that I'm new mini menu. So when they're going along here, they get to that membership at Christ the King and can contact us and set up how to, actually become a member with us here. And I know I had to rush through a lot of this, but I've got 30 minutes to prep for worship. I'm sure we will have many more discussions about the website. And I hope that if you have some questions, some members of the tech committee might be able to answer a few things for you while I have to go set up. But
This was awesome.
thank you for your time. I hope you take some time to go explore the website. If you find something in this, think of something you would like to have added, please let us know. We go over the notes at technology committee meetings, and I'm looking at them all the time. And I just really appreciate all the feedback and all of your enthusiasm about trying new technology. And so thank you very much for your time, everybody. Thank you all very much.
I've always felt that Rachel connecting with us was divinely inspired. And y'all can understand why I feel that way. The timing was just amazing, just when we needed her most, she was there. The Lord
Well,
sent
and I
it.
needed y'all this much, so it's very much reciprocal. And now I'm gonna go prep for worship, and I'll see y'all in the name.
Any other questions? I mean, the website, Rachel and Henry really deserve all the credit for this. I mean, we reviewed it, we gave feedback, some similar to what we heard, but they deserve a ton of credit. Most of the technology committee work, I guess, over the first 3 or 4 months was largely centered around the website. But there are a couple other things going on. Look, you saw the charter there. We are working to integrate the 2 sites, the technology components of the different sites. We're developing a refresh strategy that Mary Ann's working on. To try to figure out the right times to bring new technology in or to replace laptops. We have some laptops that are 12 years old, I think. And then some developing strategies as well. I think that's probably something that we're going to spend a little less time until maybe the new pastor comes on board. So it plans up with what her expectations might be. But really just open for your suggestions if you got anything.
And I just ask one comment. The traditional website was there as advertising. That's what we use websites for, find out where this place is, what it's about, etc. Now, this is a significant change. I mean, we are making our website part of our ministry. I mean, we've got the gospel being spread through the website, we've got, connections being made that would be possible. So this is no longer, so as I was trying to get this is a kind of shift in my thinking. From what we used to use websites for was just kind of getting information out. Now it's really kind of connecting and bringing people in and getting them involved in this aspect of our ministry. And I think that's a significant way now to spread the gospel.
Well, it's a lot of resources for members, for us.
Right. I mean, it connects us all and keeps the data up to date. you know, for me, there was always nothing more frustrating than going to the website, all you find is, 6-month-old garbage that was totally useless.
And we have more plans for the site. The member, like the volunteer organization piece we talked about, we're not sure exactly how to implement that. But now instead of having the Cheryl horse trading, so I'm gonna be a dolling or I'm gonna be an usher. No, I can't do it that weekend. I mean, let's do it, in a 21st century.
Should we mention
What?
should we mention an app?
Oh, yeah, exactly. The Tidely, platform very easily, will forward into an app that we're gonna be working on. And I think it's probably in the next, Rachel wants to do it before the end of the year to have it implemented. But,
So you can have all of that on your phone.
yeah.
Well,
I think it's
you can have it on your phone now, but instead you can have an app that you can download. And whenever you want to find out anything about Christ the King or your connection, you open that app.
Right.
And it gets it, you
And
don't
you can
have
sign
to.
up to pay for flowers from your phone, not via the website, but through the app on the phone, and it updates that.
And there's also be some more ways to connect them through the app. As you see now, you don't have a memory directly or any of that, So there will be ways with the app to tie members closer.
Schedules like the,
That's the plan.
your schedule would be on the app. Oh, am I on this week?
You go to the app and do it, and you can presumably swap with someone, something comes up. So, yeah, I mean, that's welcome to the 21st century. And, there's other things, hardware, sorts of ideas, technology strategy that we're gonna, be working on, sort of, and hopefully work with the budgeting folks. We'll have, take these to council, take these to the budgeting folks to say, hey, this is something that we'd like to see implemented and, for them to consider, so. And other things, so just bring those ideas to us, that's what we're here for.
Perfect.
All right, room for testimonials, membership. Why I'm a member.
Oh, I think that's fantastic.
We have talked about, doing something about a spotlighting members. I don't know, if you look at the Lutheran magazine, there was always I'm a Lutheran, I'm a Christ the King member would be a nice thing to do on a monthly basis. And, just to kind of introduce yourselves to.
You could have a rotating, we have so much done on the history. Rachel mentioned it, but there could be a section on this week, 10 years ago. This week in Christ the King, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I mean,
one of the largest pieces to consider is the role of archiving in the digital age. And so that's something that Rachel and I have been talking about is, with this being said, what does it look like now for us to have collective memory? Because for us, the easiest way we can go back to a collective memory, it's not just with each other, right? We have a physical room that has physical documents that we can open, we can always refer to. We're in this age now. What does it mean for us to have a collective memory in the cloud or online? So that's something for us to continue to consider, because the ministry today is streamlined and integrated. That's just kind of how things are, right? Be a Christian, right, means you have the Bible in one hand and your smartphone in the other. It's a little bit of a Wesleyan thing there, but it's true. Yes.
You have the Bible.
Yeah. Or you just have your phone and your phone, that's it. Your phone. Richard.
There's another important point that we're struggling with is having a whole system where the members, where you can sign in and get members only, where something of privacy may arise. Right, so that's.
Yeah, we are also working on privacy guidelines, for all the content that will be on the website.
But a good example that I'm thinking about is, getting under who we are and where we live. And having a PIN map, we can do a PIN map that's not tagged to the names and addresses and phone numbers and stuff, but then. If you're on the member sign in, you can see who lives close to me and what's their address maybe. On the private, but on the anonymous one, we could just have PIN map like used to. And show the diverse locations that people come from to be members.
by the way, I think there are language capabilities that Tidely has in terms of very easily making that all of that that's there, and here's the Spanish version. as an example.
Or the German around
It's the
Christmas.
German version, but again, this is now launched. It's the very beginning. There's all sorts of functionality that we can implement.
Can I have,
Think about where we want to go.
may I have one concluding remark, and then I think it's time for us to conclude our time here. Andy, would you like to make a concluding remark?
Cool, no, I'm done.
Anyone?
Yeah.
So remember, this is the Lutheran Reformation came precisely at a time where there was a change in communication and information, the Gutenberg press. We are, as I've heard many times said, we're not even at the beginning of this entire revolution. This is just the beginning stage of our new phase in how we communicate and relate to one another. So yes, we have to continually talk about these things regularly because we're at the edge or even the beginning of a new way of spreading the gospel of Jesus that I'm not even aware of what's gonna happen next. So that being said, we do have things coming up that we can say, yes, we know what's coming next. So next week, the call committee will be presenting on our candidate, the Reverend Jennifer Hope Tringali. And we hope that you all can join us next week here.
Upstairs.
Upstairs, a little different. You'll join us upstairs, either in person or online. So thank you all. God bless you, and we'll see you in worship.